Here would be my question to you. Why is it not degrading to get naked for your husband if it's degrading to get naked for public men?
Yeah, because that's a very simple answer.
What kind of question was that? Okay, let's hear her out. Hey, bridge builders, let's hold it down. Let's hear her out.
Is it because you assume your husband's more likely to respect you? Your husband is the man in your life most likely to beat, rape, and murder you. Your husband's the man in your life who 58% of the time is going to cheat on you.
I mean, hello, and welcome back to another episode here on the Bridge Reacts, and I'm your host here on the channel, of course, Marcus. Thanks so much for stopping by, seeing the episode here on the Bridge. We're talking about good things, great things, and of course, positive things as well. Here on the channel, we believe in long-lasting relationships, of course, stronger marriages, stronger connections, stronger unity. We're here to bridge the gap between men and women and not burn the bridge. If you like what we talk about here on the channel, please subscribe, like button, and notification bell as well. Welcome to the channel. Really appreciate you so much for stopping by. Today's topic, we are talking about what we talk about often here on the channel: marriage, or just long-term relationships. And is there even any point nowadays? Because of the whole gist of everyone saying that the dating pool, everything is just full of piss. There are a lot of self-centered individuals these days, all about individualism versus building that tribe, that community in the culture, right? So is there even a point of even doing it now? This is coming from the Patient Xena YouTube channel. We already reacted to one of her videos from before in the past. In this video, today's topic, the video is called "This View on Men and Relationships is Disturbing." I'll leave my final thoughts at the very end of the video, of course, as always. Let's get it.
Hello, my dears. So Piers Morgan had a debate on his Uncensored show, and the question that he posed was, can you be a feminist and do OnlyFans? But what I found more interesting about this conversation was how it revealed the nihilism that some young women have about men and relationships. Let's get into it.
The evolution of gender and feminism is a source of endless debate in popular culture. I tackle the issue head on in my new book, Woke is Dead, which includes some essential wisdom on the subject. I look forward to debate.
Shameless plug, Pierce.
One question I admittedly did not think of tackling specifically was this one. Can you be an OnlyFans model and a feminist? Farha Khalidi says you can, and that she is living proof of it. Men pay.
I personally thought that was kind of the whole point of the new age feminism. I thought that was the whole point, being liberated and doing whatever you want with your body. And I thought that was the whole point. I must be wrong.
Look at explicit content, blaming the women is just hypocritical. Esther Krakow, however, vehemently disagrees. So when we heard that both Esther and Farha could be in the same studio at the same time, we thought what a perfect opportunity for a lively debate on this subject. So welcome to both of you.
I'm just confused what you find empowering about showing pictures of your anus on the internet.
Touche.
Right.
Explain that.
I can. Well, first of all, I just want to point out that, it's really interesting to me that the first time the culture, and men specifically, are interested in talking about, the morality of sex work and how it's degrading to women and its effects on, the social fabric, and namely its effects on relationships, is conveniently once women like me started turning a 7-figure profit off of it, right? Up until the advent of OnlyFans, it was exclusively feminist. It was exclusively
But there's nothing
women.
feminist about what you do. You do realize
As I was saying, it was exclusively women. It was exclusively feminists who were the sole critics of Pornhub. Exclusively women who would protest things like Playboy. Like Andrea Dworkin put out a book on porn saying men possessing women, and in response, Playboy churned out these cartoons depicting her fucking other women, basically calling her a dyke and a man-hating bitch, right? Anytime women protested pornography, men said that you are vilifying male sexuality, and men were so eager to make porn synonymous with male sexuality, right?
I do think that's quite a cynical perspective. I don't think that men suddenly just hate this kind of stuff because women are getting their bag.
No.
I think the fact of the matter is the internet has drastically changed this content, especially in terms of how it's being consumed. It was a lot harder to get back in the days when people had to go into the shop to buy a magazine or go and buy a video. Nowadays, because it's on the internet and you can get a lot of it for free, it's made it so that
Men, if you're consuming this kind of content, please don't buy it. Stop supporting this monetarily. And I mean, through all platforms, not just from women, platforms, but also the big industries that actually run the prawn industry. Just don't stop giving them money.
Many more people can access it, and also much younger people can also access it as a result of that.
It's everywhere.
So I think because of the fact that it's now has a viewership on a much larger scale than it ever has before in history, we are able to see more of the effects of it on society, on people. This kind of content has been found to have a negative impact on men when it comes to things like erectile dysfunction, addiction, anxiety, distorted expectations, a whole bunch of issues that many men have experienced as a result or as a direct consequence of this kind of content.
And that's very true. Like, I'm just going to pause here for just a split second and make this video a little bit quicker than the last few. But she's exactly right. There's a lot of, disadvantages or a lot of cons versus the pros of consuming this kind of content. And it doesn't matter who is the creator. It doesn't matter. So even before OnlyFans, and a lot of women are owning their own content, good for you, I guess, whatever. But like, it's still bad. It's still the same content, See, it's just that women control their own money in this industry, but it was all bad before that. It doesn't matter who's getting paid the most. It's still bad. And all the things that she was just listing, ED, or just being addicted to the content to the point where you're just you're ruining your resources, spending money on it. You're having this weird perception of like how relationships are supposed to be, or how, it's supposed to be and stuff like that. So it's not good. It's just not great for the psyche. It's not.
And so it's understandable that the more people have
Stop gooning.
negative experiences, or the more people learn about the harms of this stuff, that they're naturally just going to develop more of a negative attitude towards it.
Hello, I'm Editing Marcus here on the Bridge Reacts, Bridge Between Us, the Bridge, the channel that you are watching today. And I want to talk about today's sponsor. It won't take long at all. If you need some kind of mobile detailing instead of driving far and wide looking for someone who is reliable, who has great customer satisfaction, how about call somebody or text somebody who will come to you? And they do exactly that. When it comes to cars, trucks, vans, motorcycles, even marine vehicles, if it's a vehicle, holler at them, check them out, text them, or call them at this number right here, 804-204-9028. That's 804-204-9028. He'll get you right, man. Make sure that your vehicle is sparkling, looking nice, inside and outside. He got you. Thank you so much for Royal Treatment Mobile Detailing for sponsoring today's video. Back to the video.
But all of the stuff that we know about it is quite new because we'd never really studied it before. And I think because of the fact that it wasn't so widely available and it wasn't having as much of an impact on young people in the way that it is now, there was no reason or no desire for people to really look into it as much. I think that the reason why men have now got a much more negative attitude towards it is because, like everybody else, they've been educated on the harms that it does to people. And there's now more research that she's harms, which people didn't have before. Also, she's speaking about men very generally, but yet she's like citing people like Playboy or companies like Playboy as her examples of how there were people who were arguing against the feminists. But that's not men. That's the people who make this kind of content. That's the Hugh Hefners of this world. But obviously they're going to be in favor of it because they're profiting from it. So it wasn't like a general, like, men were saying this. It was like the people who were actively creating this kind of stuff and making money from this kind of stuff. And they were the ones who were the most defensive of this type of content, and they were the ones who were attacking and mocking the feminists who were speaking out against it. But obviously because there was a financial incentive from their perspective, and also probably they wanted to have women doing all this kind of stuff for their own personal gain as well. And this is one of the issues that some have with feminism, is that it lumps all men together and then punishes them all for the behavior of a few. These OnlyFans girls,
just like I'd imagine, like a lot of things, like how the black fatigue kind of thing. We made a video on that too. The black fatigue, because we're tired of the whole black fatigue grift. But yeah, black fatigue, it's just been done so much. It's annoying, and you're generalizing so many different people, the entire race. Even the original definition, it was from Miss Winters, I believe.
So previously the term black fatigue was coined by the writer Mary Winters, and within the book she defines black fatigue as the feeling of exhaustion that black Americans feel over having to experience racism constantly within American society.
Irony. Wow. It was a book, it was a concept that had a whole nother definition, the exact opposite actually, and now they made it a whole thing. And then of course, like, just generalizing anybody for any kind of reason is just stupid. Like, you can't do that.
Here would be my question to you. Why is it not degrading to get naked for your husband if it's degrading to get naked for public men?
Yeah, because that's a very simple answer.
What kind of question was that? Okay, let's hear her out. Hey, bridge builders, let's hold it down. Let's hear her out.
Is it because you assume your husband's more likely to respect you? Your husband is the man in your life most likely to beat and murder you. Your husband's the man in your life who 58% of the time is going to cheat on you.
I mean, I guess technically with your logic, sure, because that person's near you the most and they sleep in the same bed as you, they're in the same home as you. So sure, that person is more than likely going to do something fucked up to you compared to a random person on the street. Sure, okay, that makes sense. But like, you just threw out an extreme statistic just to validate your own argument. Okay.
Your husband's the man in your life who 50% of marriages end in divorce, and women cite that they felt disrespected, right? So why are you assuming that by sacrificing yourself for your husband, you're reserving a seat of respect from a man versus sacrificing yourself for the public domain?
Now, they showed this part in the preview, and I know that some people might hear what she's saying and think she's insane for thinking that way, but the sad thing is, I actually think that her perspective isn't uncommon for Zoomers. When it comes to their views on relationships, a lot of them are very pessimistic and nihilistic. If you ask them about the dating pool, they'll say that it's very polluted, and it's not entirely.
Well, you have ladies who think like this, and then you have men who are very red pill minded and, you know, extremists too. When you have a lot of extremes on both sides of the field, it makes the pool pretty hard to fish in, right?
Highly untrue that the quality of dating options these days aren't great for either side, but a lot of them really do just believe that there is nothing out there at all. It's not that they think there's less good options out there these days. They just think that there's nothing good out there.
I don't believe that
at all. A lot of people have swallowed the black pill when it comes to dating, and it's quite depressing, to be fair. And so what you end up having is just like a bunch of girls who think this way, and they kind of think, well, relationships or marriage isn't good either. He's going to cheat on you. He could abuse you. He could kill you. So why not?
Sure, and then might as well not drive a car. Don't go on a plane to your Miami trips in Dubai or whatever the fuck y'all go to. Don't do any of that, because there's a probability of you potentially dying because you're doing something extreme that isn't as safe, right? I mean, you even getting food from a store and you have an allergic reaction and you didn't know, there's always a chance of something happening. That doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Life is about risk and choices. Things are going to happen. You can't control certain things. You can only control things you can control. Everything else, that's life. I don't have the answers for that other than it's life. You can't control it. It's just going to happen. Should you be scared to get married? I'm getting to my final thoughts already. Let's play a little bit more. We're going to end it, okay?
Not live this alternative lifestyle because the grass isn't going to be greener on the other side. And so they just end up doing this kind of stuff because they have very negative views about men. And it's not uncommon. There are a lot of girls who go into this industry who have very, 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 very negative attitudes about men. What ends up happening is when they enter the industry, it ends up reinforcing the negative views that they have about men because of the kind of men that they end up interacting with through these platforms. Some of it is also just cope as well to justify their choices because, you know, if you're going to go down this route, then it does help, I guess, psychologically to downplay the alternative. And so if you say, well, sense. I could have gotten married and I could have had a relationship, but he could have cheated on me, he could have abused me, he could have done this to me.
Basically rationalizing it in your brain to make you think that it's okay to do what you're doing when you know internally and spiritually it's probably not right. So let's get to my final thoughts and get straight to it in the video. My final thoughts, right? When it comes to marriage, long-lasting relationships, is there even a point anymore? Is it too saturated with piss, the dating pool, what I mean, not marriage? Is there any point of even considering long-term anymore? I guess the best way to counter-argue her point and anyone else who think that there's no reason to even get married, whether if it is documented from the government or state or if it's spiritually between two people, whatever floats your boat. My counter to that argument is that what creates the best type of society and community? Is it a lot of ladies doing this? It's a lot of ladies making their own content, making money by showing off their, what's the other ladies say, her butthole, her anus to the masses. Is that going to be the most beneficial thing for society? Maybe we should all try at least be a decent man or woman, in this case, a woman who potentially might want to add into the community and be a wife or mother, or at least someone who is not showing off their body to further poison young minds who will watch the content. And unfortunately, it's always going to be out there. You can't get rid of all the prawn out there, but still, like, do you think that this way of living supports or develops a better society, a better community? What does this show young ladies, little girls? Hey, little girls, would you rather one day potentially be a mommy yourself and a wife, or would you rather be her. What is more like beneficial? What would you want to tell your daughters? I mean, of course, let them be themselves and grow up to be whatever, right? But still, like, what would you edge them to be towards? This or that? This or marriage? This or hopefully adding into society? Because we as men, we typically, not all of us, would look for a woman to be a wife. So if you want your daughter to be like this, what are the chances? Not saying it's impossible. Some guys turn hoes into housewives, sure. But what are the chances? What do you think this is doing to her psyche for her to like think the way she thinks? Emotionally, mentally, how damaged she is, how the way she looks at other men, the other half of the coin. I wouldn't want that for my future daughter if I had one. I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want that for my sister. I wouldn't want that for any of my relatives, friends who are ladies. I wouldn't want any of that for them. I want the best for them. I want to see them happy with someone who's there to help them through life, walk through life with them, and take care of them, and vice versa. I think that's the best way to have a great society, thriving community. And if you made it this far from the video, please subscribe, like button, notification bell as well. Really appreciate you. Give me your final thoughts about the subject matter. Is there any point to marriage, eloping? Again, whether if it is government documents, state documents, or whatever, or if it's spiritual, like just still being able to procreate, raise a family together, stay together, have those children, being able to see mom and dad interact and have healthy relationships, healthy ways of communicating and problem solving when conflict arises. Great examples, right? We need that. Every community, especially our community. I'm gonna stop talking, but I really appreciate you guys. You guys have a nice one. Be safe out there. Take care and see you.